Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is Sunaina once again, and this time I'm doing collective twin flame energy reading, but I have divided the cards into two parts in here, one for the masculine out here and one for the feminine. So I have to use a couple of decks out here. Otherwise, it was not possible to get into the depth of the matter out here. So I have used quite a number of decks, to be honest, about seven of them out here, okay? And this is an important time both for the divine masculine and the divine feminine in their collective twin flame journey, because a lot of things are changing. Scorpio season is on, Venus is going direct, and stuff like that is happening in the cosmic world as well. Therefore, a lot of breakups, a lot of transformation, but breakups are happening not because of a bad reason. It's happening for a good cause. So the pause is happening, the momentum is coming together, energies are kind of getting together in both the masculine and the feminine part of their journey, for because for this period, for so long, that energies had been scattered in two different directions. So right now there is a transformation both for the masculine and for the feminine, as I see in my reading as well. And therefore I decided to do this two spread out here, and find out what we are looking for and what is going on in the world of the twin flame journey. Now, this reading is not time stamped, although I have taken this reading as of November the 8th, 2018. And on the 11th of November, we are having a portal out here on the 11/11/11. So, a lot of things, again, are, energies are being moved out, pushed forward, moved out, pushed forward, and new energies are being thrown into both the masculine and the feminine in this journey out here. So now, to start off with, as I have divided the cards, I have taken the spiritual self or the higher self in the beginning, and also I have taken the mental space, the heart space, and the 3D energy space out here. Okay, so this is just a synopsis of what I'm doing out here at this point in time. Now, as I go along, I will also show you the bottom of every deck that I have got here for my reading as an overall energy to the entire story out here. Okay. Now, in the masculine's head, spiritual self, or the highest self, as I would like to call it, he is calling for authority, the authority in the right direction, because somewhere down the line, he knows that he did not use his authority in the right direction, or he did not have enough authority to use in the right direction, whatever the case might have been for different people in the different phases of their journey. Today, he is calling for the same authority to come back into him. And this is a very good card to start the energy read with, because I feel that the divine masculine, as I have been watching their progress and I have been observing other people's progress as well, I feel that somewhere down the line, this part of their authority, being the emperor, if it was there, it was so subtle that people, or the divine feminine, they were not able to notice that, and it was somewhere getting lost in the process. So, right now, the universe is granting him the authority that is coming back into him, which is again at the same time for the divine masculine, is bringing in the hope, the light at the end of the tunnel, because he's getting his self confidence, his self esteem, his self, things that he needed for his journey that he had lost, and he's getting it back slowly, which is again bringing in the light for him, the dawn of the new era, as I would like to say here, that the light is there at the end of the tunnel. Everything is not lost. If I work in the right direction, if I do my job in the right way, if I'm ethically right, if I'm morally honest, I would be able to see this light at the end of the tunnel, which is what he's looking at. And that again is bringing in for him from the spirit, my guide, and the universe, the new beginning for the divine masculine. It's beautiful. It is absolutely in synchronizing, the cards are synchronizing with one another, giving us the entire spiritual self of the divine masculine that is happening in his world at this point in time, and even going a little bit forward from here. Now, for the divine feminine, she knows that she has a firm foundation, or that she has built a firm foundation. This is for the divine feminine. Okay, and that is the biggest part of her achievement in this journey, that she hasn't let herself go with the flow, losing everything, losing herself, but in the event she has managed to bring the foundation back into herself that is supporting her at this point in time. If you look in the picture here, the firm foundation for the divine feminine is giving her all the support, all the patience, all the understanding, all the wisdom, all the maturity that she has, collected in her firm foundation in this course of this journey out here. Now, at the same time, for the divine feminine, I also see there is a suffering in silence, and that is happening. Sorry. That is happening not because of anything, but because, somewhere she feels let down at this point in time, even though she too is observing the transformations, but she's not really getting hold of what she desires in the innermost space of her heart or her soul. So, somewhere, she's sitting alone and she's still suffering in silence, thinking of the future, whether it's going to work out for her, whether it's going to go in the right direction. Although for the divine masculine, things are working out in a much more different way. For the divine feminine, with the firm foundation, with all the wisdom, with everything that she has accumulated, but being a woman, being a person of flesh and blood, the emotions are still very much intact in her heart. She's suffering in silence, not just because of what the present condition in her life could be, but also she's healing from the past traumas of this journey, of the wrongdoings, of the kind of treatment that she had got, in the past. So everything put together, there is a vacuum in her heart space at this point in time, in her mental space, in her spiritual space, as I would like to call it. Therefore, there is a bit of suffering here at this point. But again, for the divine feminine, you see, as I said, she has the wisdom. She has the understanding to take care of her firm foundation, to take care of her suffering in silence, because of the wisdom that has come to her much before the wisdom had been granted to the divine masculine. So that's a very, very nice card also in my own way that I see for the divine feminine out here. Now, for the divine masculine, in his mental space, in his mind, he's calling out for judgment. If you see this card in his mental space, is calling out for judgment. Okay. Now, this card, if you see, there is a man, woman, and a child standing bare naked in front of the divine. Okay. And there are only questions that is coming out from this card, which is the understanding of your life so far. So the divine masculine is kind of getting hold of what he has gone through, what he is going through, and what he is going to get through. It's an understanding, it's a complete journey of his life, that he is focusing through the lens of his own camera. So these are the questions, that what basically the question would be that for the divine masculine, it is kind of an offer that he will have to now deal upon or dwell upon to move forward to the next phase of his life. Does he have that? Does he really have that kind of an offering that he can give to his divine feminine? Okay, and how at the same time, how could he even manage to be like his old little child self? Because he is a person that in the event of all this journey, he had lost his innocence somewhere because of all the mess up, because of all the goof ups, because of all the trauma, the heartbreak, the Three of Swords energy. He had lost his inner child self that he wanted to have. He wanted to keep him for himself, to preserve it for himself. But right now, in his mental space, with the judgment card coming up, he is looking forward to those kind of things that is being granted or is going to be granted, and is asking the divine, if I have, and how would I have if I don't have it? How would I have those little offerings? The stability, the firm foundation, the wisdom, the capability, the understanding, the King of Cups energy that I can offer to my divine feminine. So he is calling out for judgment in his mental space, okay? At the same time, there is the Eight of Wand energy, but I've got the vice versa tarot here that shows me this side of the card, which means at the same time in his mind space, he's also realizing the fact that for so long, whatever has happened, what he has thrown out into the world is what is coming back to him. So he's kind of evaluating his conscience. He's judging his conscience. He's asking the divine to give him the right judgment to move forward to the next phase of his life, because he now knows that what you sow is what you reap. What is above and so is below. What goes around comes around. So if he doesn't correct this portion of his life, if he has done any harm to anybody, if it has been an unethical behavior that he has committed in the past, it's time for him to come back, apologize, so to say that I did not mean to harm you, or not even harm you, I didn't mean to hurt you. So he has to correct those understandings with the divine for the judgment to be granted to him in the right direction, and that is coming to him. These are his self-realizations that he is going through at this point in time, which is, of course, in the mental space, is also coming up with the energy of a magician, that if he wants, he can do it. He can, he doesn't want the Pegasus to come and correct the matter for him. He wants to correct the matter by himself, so that in the event he gets the right judgment from the divine to carry forward into the next phase of his journey. So that is the reason in his mind space he is also transforming into the Magician, card number 1 in this deck, which is a wonderful card to have in his mental space. That means it shows that he is trying to work on those negative the so-called negative energies that has kind of troubled him for so long. The new beginning, the transformation by being the magician out here in the mental space, correcting the things that did not work for him. Now, in this two portions of the card, rather in the mental space, the vice versa tarot, he has also at the bottom of his deck, he also has the magician as well. So that means it shows that he is, the overall energy of the mental space of the divine masculine is that of a magician. That is what he is trying to do, trying to turn things around, trying to work the magic to heal the past, to transform things, to push things into the right perspective, to make way for this new beginning that he so desperately is waiting for. Okay. Now, for the divine feminine in her mental space, she has the 9 of Wands. Okay, that means she knows that it's all coming. Somewhere deep down in the bottom of her heart, she's holding on to the 9 Wands. Okay, she's defending her position in this journey. She's defending herself in this journey. She's also, like I said, she has a firm foundation. So it is not very difficult for the divine feminine to protect themselves and defend themselves in this journey. So she is also at the same time holding on to the 9 Wands in herself, okay, in her mental space. At the same time, because of all the things that she is also observing, she has gone into contemplation or the hermit mode. Okay, and that is why she's the suffering in silence. Now, if you see here, she's suffering in silence, but she is not telling the world. She's doing it as a hermit. She has retracted, she's taken 2 steps back. and she's waiting for the right moment. She's waiting for the right opportunity to come to her where she can act upon the entire new beginning that the divine feminine is kind of building up. He's constructing, he's that entire thing is under construction for the divine masculine, and the divine feminine at this point in time is not participating in that role, but she is doing what she needs to do by going into the hermit mode of contemplation, because she's also healing herself at the same time. At the same time, she's also giving her divine masculine enough time to do what he needs to do, that space between the both of them. And that is why in her mental space, she has the Page of Pentacles. In this deck, it's called opportunity. So she's, like I said, she's waiting for the right opportunity, and that is the wisdom that she has got, that she doesn't need to rush forward. She doesn't need to push things. There is a divine timing. Divine timing is at work for the divine feminine. So therefore, she knows all that. So that is the reason she's waiting for the right opportunity. She's holding on as a hermit, internalizing her own self-worth, her own self-independence, her own self, her anger, her hatred, her love, her powers, everything that the divine has given her. So she is kind of doing that internal work by herself. At the same time, she's also holding on to the Nine of Wands, because she knows that sooner or later things are going to all fall into place. The overall energy for the divine feminine in the mental space is death or transformation in the card here, in the deck here. So basically, what she's trying to do in her mental space is that she's giving enough time to the divine masculine to work his way out through the mess, to correct himself, to do the judgment call, so that he could become the magician. She can see that happening. She knows deep down in her heart, even though if she cannot see it, she knows deep down in her heart that he is desperately trying to bring in the new beginning, because that process has already started. But in her mental space at the same time, you know, she's also wanting the entire thing to end. She wants the tower, she wants the death of the situation, so that in the going forward movement, they can move together in the next phase of their life. So that is one way very good, because that's what she's looking for, and that's why she's holding on to her wands. She's holding on to her horses. She's not wanting to rush forward at the same time. Now, for the divine masculine in his heart space, I'm entering the heart space right now. He has got the Ten of Pentacles, which is wonderful. So that is the heart space energy for the divine masculine at this point in time. He wants all the love, he wants all the attention, he's craving. He by wanting to become a magician, by wanting to bring in the new beginning, in every sphere of his life, he is just waiting. He is waiting to get the Ten of Cups in his heart, which is overflowing for that love, the attention, the togetherness, the fun, the frolic, the playfulness, everything that he had with his divine feminine. He's wanting all that back in his heart space, but he knows that there are certain things he has to go through before that energy can really transform itself in the 3D. Okay, but he does have this energy. At the same time, he has also got in the heart space the Page of Wand energy. That means he's waiting for the opportunity. He's learning, he's growing, but he's not rushing forward. Sorry, he's growing spiritually, he's getting his wisdom, like the divine feminine who has already got his wisdom. So he's waiting, he's curious to see how the next phase of his life turns out to be, whether he will get the judgment there, whether he'll be happy. He knows he's going to be happy, but at this point in time, he's just waiting, observing. He's curious, but he's a little scared to take the next step forward, because he has to plan out his actions before he can move forward into the next phase of his journey. So that is why in his heart space, he's also kind of calm and composed, trying to temper his mind and his spiritual self, and his emotional self at the same time. It's kind of it's not a temperance card, but for me, it's kind of a balancing out of the situation in his heart space so that he can take the leap of faith and move forward. But at the same time, right now, he's a little scared to move ahead of what he's doing, though he wants the 10 of cups, the 10 of pentacle energy he has, but he's planning, and that is why in the mental state he is the magician over here. So there is nothing to get worried about, and that is the reason the next is the 4 of pentacle. He's trying to balance his stuff, he's trying to hold on, especially in his emotional and financial state, in both the cases. He's trying to balance out the pentacle. He's holding on the pentacles too tightly at this point in time, because he's looking forward in the future. He knows that he needs money, he needs financial stability, he needs that financial security to match up to the divine feminine, because he cannot come to her naked. He has to come to her with enough in his pocket to offer the cup of love, to be the king of cups, in every way, to match up to her kind of potential that she has in the 3D world, in the 3D as of now. So therefore he's kind of becoming a little bit conscious of his own decisions, conscious of his own self, conscious of his financial security. He's trying to hold on to that so that, at the end of the journey, even though at this moment in his heart the 3 cups are gone, he's waiting for the 4th cup. He knows that is coming to him. It's been given to him. It's in the process of moving towards him. He just has to open his eyes and take the cup, grab the cup from the divine, who is offering the cup to him. So the 3 cups have gone. He knows that, the heartbreak, the loss, the emotional turmoil, everything. He knows that it's the death of the 3 cups, but he's waiting for the 4th cup here. But at the same time, he's also he knows that he has to cross through the energies to come here through the 10 of Pentacles energy for the divine, for him to give the divine feminine whatever she needs in this journey. And that's why he's holding on to the Page of Wand energy, learning slowly, becoming conscious, becoming spiritually conscious, becoming emotionally conscious, becoming wise, becoming wise, even though he's not ready to take the next step forward, to take the next leap forward. And that's the reason he's holding on consciously to his financial and security, the decisions that needs to be made in order for him to match with the divine feminine when he finally grabs the 4th card to come to her in his heart space. Okay, so that's the divine masculine's heart space. Now in this tarot here, the Raider deck tarot that I have used for his heart space, he's got the 6 of Sword energy, which is he's kind of moving away from the emotional baggage. He's moving away from the turmoil. He's moving away from all those things that have hurt him. So through these energies, now if you match the 6 of Sword energy in the overall deck here and all the energies that I have read out to you, it kind of tells me that the divine masculine is very much in the process of going towards the new beginning, of becoming the magician, of holding on for the new beginning. And sorry, and he's there, therefore he's going through all these changes at this point in time in his life so that he can reach there in the most brightest possible way that a knight should come forward in his shining armor, to offer his love to his divine feminine. Okay, now in the divine feminine's heart space, okay, I have used the other tarot deck here. Then I've got a little bit more card that I had probably wanted, but my spirit wanted to show me and give it to me. So I have taken it. She, in her heart space, the Ace of Sword, okay, she wants clarity of the situation because she's still holding on. Okay, she's holding on. She has a firm foundation. She knows that the divine masculine is going through the ups and downs. She knows that. But at the same time, like I said in the former deck, she wants the death, the transformation, as well as the clarity of every situation. So she basically wants the divine masculine to open up and tell her what his plans are, plans are, what his actions will be, what he's proposing to do in the coming days forward. That is her heart space, that she wants to hear the clarity of the situation from the divine feminine, because she's also in the Nine of Sword energy. She's kind of feeling restless about the entire thing. She's kind of anxious. That's why there is sword energy in her heart, that she is wanting to know the truth, because she can feel it. She can feel the transformation slowly that is happening, but she's not being able to hear it from the divine masculine. She's not being able to see it as of today from the divine masculine side. So that is the reason why she's suffering in silence a little bit, as I said before. And plus, at the same time, she's gone into the hermit mode with the Nine of Sword energy that is kind of breaking her heart. Therefore, in her heart space, again, she wants the tower. She wants this drama to end. She wants this entire closure now. She doesn't want to hold on to this kind of an energy for too long. Okay, so whatever the divine masculine is doing, she's allowing him to do that, because at the end she wants this entire clarity. She wants this death of this kind of situation, so that they can both merge together in their spiritual union. And that is why in her heart space she's waiting for the star to shine upon her, and she is also waiting for the world to come to her. Okay, so these are the divine feminine's energy in her heart space. Okay, so she is very much in, if I look into it, this is how the energies are working for both the divine masculine and divine feminine right now. The divine feminine has had done her work, and that has already happened quite some time back. Now the higher self, the spiritual self, is calling for the divine masculine to do that work that he has to do in order to get into the divine feminine's world. Okay, that she is so desperately waiting and wanting and holding on to. Very nice, beautiful in their heart space. Now, coming to the 3D energy of both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Okay, and before I go forward, the bottom of the deck on this one, on the divine feminine's heart space, the bottom of the deck is the lover. So after the world, all that she is waiting for is for the lovers to come in. Okay, so that is her overall energy in her heart space. So therefore, as I said before, whatever she's doing, however things, whatever way she's healing herself, she's waiting, she's giving time, she's not pushing forward, she's not making her horses go over the mountains and collapse and things like that. No, she's taking it very calm, very smooth, very slow, very steady. But at the same time, the bottom of the deck shows its lovers. That's why the last card in her heart space is the world, where she's waiting to greet the divine masculine as and when he gets ready to walk into her life in the way that she wants, by being in charge, by being the King of Cups, by being the Knight of Swords, by being the Knight of Cups. So all that knight in a shining armor, that's what she's waiting for right here in her heart space. Now, in the 3D world, for the divine masculine, he has the moon, which is telling me right now he's keeping a lot of things in secret. Okay, there is a lot of secrecy. So he's not kind of revealing the plans to the divine feminine, because he has all these plans. He's coming to it slowly. But right now, he doesn't want to talk about it, because before that, he has made promises, perhaps, but he has not been able to live up to those promises. So right now, he doesn't want to mess up with this. He wants to have a firm foundation like her before he comes forward with the knight, like a knight in the shining armor, and tell her all the plans that he has gathered under his wisdom, the hat of his wisdom. Okay, so therefore, right now, don't get upset, divine feminine, if you're listening out to this. If he is not telling, although you are wanting to hear the truth, you're waiting for the Ace of Swords, the clarity of the situation, but right now he's not telling you, because there is a higher purpose for him to keep the thing secret, because This entire planning is being made by him alone. So my suggestion would be, let him work on this. My suggestion would be, let him deal with this. Let him find the solution, because he knows he's in the right path after a very long time. So even if he's keeping things secret from you, even if he's not opening up to you, even if he's not having a heart to heart conversation with you, don't get upset, because there is a purpose, there is a higher purpose why he's keeping this thing secret for himself. Because in the 3D world, the reason he's doing this is because in the 3D world, he's actually gathering his entire wisdom to have the Six of Cups energy. He wants to get back to his divine feminine at any cost. He's desperate. He's looking forward to that kind of time, the moment, which will be granted to him by the universe, for him to enjoy the benefits or the fruits of his labor, of this divine journey, of this divine love, of this twin flame journey, whatever you might want to say this could be. But in his 3D space, this is the energy. He's keeping it a secret right now, for sure, but he's doing it for a purpose, because he's gathering his wisdom, he's gathering his strength, he's gathering his balance, he's gathering his confidence to come into the Six of Cups energy. And that is the reason he is waiting for the judgment as well in the 3D. So he has judgment in the mental space, he has judgment in the 3D space as well. He too wants the actual judgment to be given to him, because he knows whatever has happened, in the past, he needs to heal it. He needs to go slow. He needs to gather his strength, as I have said, because the judgment, he is also calling out for the judgment to be fair on the divine feminine when he actually steps into her boundary. Okay, so therefore, these are the energies for the divine masculine in the 3D as of today, as of now, that I see. And for the bottom of the deck in here, he has got the Four of Cups in the 3D. Okay, which means, again, he had the Four of Cups energy. If you see here, in the heart space, he has the Four of Cups energy in the 3D, leaving behind the 3 cups and waiting for the 4th cup, the wisdom, the love, the happiness, the joy, the fulfillment, the entire thing, that he's waiting for right here in the 3D as well. That's the overall energy in the deck for the divine masculine. Wonderful. I've got nothing else to say. It's a very straightforward reading. It's a very nice reading, and that's why I'm so excited to share this with everybody who is going to listen out to this reading, in the coming weeks or the coming days. Now, for the divine feminine in the 3D, she has the this is the good old tarot I've used. She has the 6 of air energy in the 3D. That means she's waiting for her ship to come in. She knows there has been a lot of trouble in the past, a lot of turbulence for the divine masculine as well as for her. But at the same time, in the 3D, that's why she is the hermit, she's holding on to her patience. She's defending her firm foundation, because at the same time, she's waiting for the world and the star and the lover card that was there at the bottom of the earlier deck, to sail into her space. Then she has the 2 of earth energy, which is juggling, So she's also kind of juggling. Don't take this kind of juggling in the wrong direction. The 2 of air means the 2 of pentacles over here, okay, or the 2 of coins. She's not juggling between, in my reading, she's not juggling between her decision, whether she wants to stay with the divine masculine or leave. She's juggling between the time right now. Okay, she's juggling between his energies and her energies. She knows there is a change that is happening, So a lot of other people may interpret this as juggling between the masculine, trying to leave him. But if you are in this process of the journey, I'm pretty sure of the people I'm talking about, they are not thinking about that. They are just juggling between the two changes of the energies that is coming slowly into union. Okay, so she's juggling between her balance and her patience. She's juggling between her suffering in silence and her wisdom. Okay, she's juggling between her clarity of the situation and the Nine of Sword energy. Okay, and she's also juggling between the Tower energy and the World energy. So for the Divine Feminine, it's not about leaving the Divine Masculine. For this kind of people that I'm talking about, it's not leaving the Divine Masculine behind, but it's tempering the balance between the fire and the water. Okay, it's tempering the balance between the mental and the physical planes in herself. Okay, so that is why she's also giving time to the Divine Masculine. She's giving time to herself. She's waiting for that union to happen. She's waiting for the world to come to her. She's waiting for the knight in his shining armor to come to her, and that's why she's juggling between those two different kinds of energies that will bring her into fruition going forward from here. Okay, and that is why the last card in the 3D space for the Divine Feminine is talking about patience here. Okay, so the spirit is telling that you know that your ships are reaching you, it's reaching the harbor that you have been waiting. There had been a lot of turbulence in the past, for sure. You have gone through a lot of pain in the past, for sure, but right now things are changing. Things are walking into your boundary, things are moving into your boundary, and you just have to juggle yourself between these kind of energies, not between the choices of leaving the Divine Masculine and going forward. No, this journey does not give you the permission to do that. For people I'm talking about in the real twin flame journey, so what you are doing, because a lot of readers have interpreted this earlier as juggling between leaving the masculine and going forward. In my reading, it's not leaving the masculine, as I said, it's juggling between her inner self and outer self, because she's still holding on to her patience right now in the 3D, and that she's doing. Now, in this tarot too, if you see, the Divine Feminine has the Tower energy. I cannot believe this, honestly. The Divine Feminine, ladies, I'm talking to y'all. This is also the Tower energy at the end of the deck for her 3D world. So she is waiting, holding on to her patience. She's doing everything right now, but she's waiting for the time where all these things will, by natural forces, come to an end, be over with, and that they can move on into a different world right here, into the new beginning of themselves, of this beautiful twin flame union journey. Okay, so even though I have not asked for union cards, it's my reading of this three different kind of energies with the higher self here. It's the message is very simple, very clear. And for the higher self, the bottom of the deck is the heart chakra. Okay, so which means both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine have both got their heart chakras open at this point in time. They are both working in two different ways right now, for sure. But at the end of this journey, they are just working to bring together, to merge together, to be together in this wonderful love, in this wonderful spiritual union of this twin flame journey. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me. And if you have any comments, likes, subscribe, share, anything that you would like to do, I would be back again maybe a few days later to check with another updated energy reading for you, so that it helps you in the process of going forward as well. Thank you so much. Enjoy yourself and have a wonderful day. Thank you.